Hello and welcome to this live webinar. My name is Chris and I'll be taking you through this live webinar. You're all very, very welcome. Thank you to everyone who's joined us already. And this is a live lesson. So let me just check that everything's working first and then we can get going so that I don't have to have any technical problems or waste your time. So can you let me know in the comments that you can see me, that you can hear me? Some of you probably have comments about my sunburn. We'll talk about that later. But just let me check with my team to see if everything is working okay, and then we'll begin in 1 minute. But if you let me know in the comments too that everything is working, you can see me, you can hear me. So Tina, thank you very much from Tina. Okay, guys, so I think we're ready to go. As I said, this is a live lesson. So if you have any problems with the internet connection, just make sure that you are plugged into the best internet connection possible, or if you're on Wi-Fi, switch to the best, fastest connection and go close to where your internet comes out. All right, so it looks like we don't have any problems. In the meantime, let me know where you guys are watching from. It's always interesting to see how many different countries we're helping. Apologies that the picture is a little bit gray and white washed out. I have terrible sunburn because I was in Turkey. I just got back from Turkey the other day, and stupidly, I didn't wear any sun cream, so I got very, very burnt. You can't really notice because I've done some magic with the camera, but you might be able to see I'm extremely sunburned. So yeah, I'm pretty stupid when it comes to that, but I'm very smart when it comes to IELTS. So we'll help you with that. So let's see where all you guys are from. So Zimbabwe, Turkey. We got some people in Turkey, India, Iran, Bangladesh, Mauritius. I'd love to go to Mauritius. Someone says, "Where did you go in Turkey?" Antalya, and I went to the Cleopatra pools, and I can't pronounce it, but the old Roman ruins. I love Roman history, so I went and watched or walked around all the old Roman ruins in Turkey. So that's what I like to do on holiday. So someone from Scotland, Somalia, the Philippines, Uzbekistan, Ukraine, Nepal, UAE, Saudi Arabia, Vietnam, Xing Chao, Cyprus, Vietnam again, Germany. I met a lot of Germans in Turkey, a lot of Germans and a lot of Russians, and a lot of Iranians, funny enough. Okay, so what we're going to do now is I'm going to share my screen and teach you. When I'm sharing my screen, I cannot read your comments, but we have Tina and Sophia from our team. And if you have any problems, just put it in the comments. And if you see Tina IELTS Advantage or Sophia IELTS Advantage, they will be able to help you out with any problems. If you have any technical issues, just refresh your browser and it should fix it. If you do have questions, just wait until the end and I'll try and answer as many questions as I can at the end. I can't teach and look at questions constantly. It's just not the best way to teach you guys, but I'll teach you or I'll answer your questions at the end. Okay, so let's begin. So you should be able to see that it says IELTS Writing Band 9 Strategy Session, 4 simple changes to improve your essays to a Band 7, 8, or 9. Can you see that? And if you can see that, then we will get going. So from my team, Tina and Sophia, can you let me know that you can see that? Okay. So here's what you will learn and what you will discover today. How successful students quickly and easily think of ideas. How one simple structure guarantees you will write an effective essay. Identify and fix all of the grammar mistakes you don't even know you're making. And understand what Band 9 vocabulary really looks like and how to start using it in your essay immediately. So these are the 4 things that we will focus on, and these are the 4 things that the examiners will be focusing on. So that is how effective this strategy is, really just focusing on what improves your scores. So our goal today is to make the writing process simpler and help you write a band 7, 8, or 9 essay in your next writing test. Even if you failed the test before, so if you've failed multiple times, don't worry. If you have failed before, try and notice the things that we teach that are different from what you think or what you've been taught before. And that's really going to help you without improving your general English level. So, we're not going to focus on helping you massively expand your vocabulary and your grammar because that will take too much time. We'll focus on helping you use the grammar and vocabulary you already have, you already know to get a band 7, 8, or 9. And without learning any tricks or hacks or shortcuts. We don't teach tricks or hacks or shortcuts at IELTS Advantage because they don't work. We know that you love them, but we don't teach you anything that doesn't work. And we're going to reveal the simple formula that has led to my VIP students achieving more band 7, 8, and 9 success stories than any other course, school, or teacher in the world. That is a fact that you can check online, and we will show you that in a second. And we'll show you that IELTS is an extremely simple test that is far easier to pass than you think. A lot of you are not failing the test because of a lack of ability, but because of a lack of confidence. So, we're going to improve your confidence today by showing you how simple things are, not by making it more complicated. I think there's about 2,000 people watching, so thank you so much. And for those people who are watching, we want to reward you and say thank you for watching. So we're going to give you a bonus gift if you watch the whole webinar. So we like to help people who help themselves. And if you stay until the end of this live lesson, you'll get a gift. So it's an exclusive PDF ebook download that includes a summary of all the key lessons in this uh, webinar. But don't just rely on this, take your own notes as you're going through. We'll give you that structure sentence by sentence. We'll give you practice activities so that you can put what you have learned today into practice. It's very important. We'll also give you targeted feedback. We'll give you checklists and good samples and bad samples so that you can look at your own writing and understand where you're going wrong and what you're doing correctly. And we'll also give you sample essays from our successful VIP students. But only those who complete the session will get this free gift. And guys, please be polite. Don't constantly ask for this and demand this throughout the session. Let's focus on learning. We want to gift this to you. We want to help you, but don't just focus on the free gift. All right. If you constantly ask for it, we'll just remove you from the webinar. Okay. So does this stuff actually work? Before you listen to anyone about IELTS, you should get them to prove to you that they are a real expert and what they teach actually works in the real world. Because your next IELTS test will determine what country you live in, how much money you make, the job you do, the language your children will speak, the safety and security and happiness of your family. It is a huge deal in your life. It is one of those life-changing moments. So you should trust the person that is giving you advice. So we will not tell you that we are the best or we are the best teachers or anything like that. What we do is just show you our student results. We have 10 times more band 7, 8, and 9 success stories than any other IELTS course or school in the entire world. The British Council gave IELTS Advantage an award for helping students, and the BBC trust us with their audience to teach their audience. These are facts anyone can check, and I'll show you that in a second. And we are successful because our students are successful. We don't try and make as much money as possible. We don't try and get as many subscribers as possible. All we focus on is helping students improve their score. And selfishly, that makes us the most successful IELTS course in the world. So that means that we do make a lot of money and we do get a lot of subscribers, but we do put your success first. We don't try and put the cart before the horse. And we will demonstrate many parts of our VIP system to you today. All the stuff that we're going to teach you today is included in our VIP course. So we're going to give you a lot of value for free today. So, am I just talking nonsense and saying all these things to get you to trust me, or is this actually the truth? Well, if you go onto our website, IELTSadvantage.com, and you click on success stories, we'll take you here. You will find more Band 7, 8, and 9 success stories than any other IELTS course in the entire world. No other IELTS course has this number of video interviews with Band 7, 8, and 9 real students. Not only do we have 10 times more than anyone else, if you go to the bottom here, you will find more testimonials. We not only have more Band 7, 8, and 9 videos, we have more Band 7, 8, and 9 thank you notes than any other IELTS course in the entire world. All of these at a Band 7, 8, and 9. And there's so many of them that we cannot possibly read them all. It would take us years. But you can see this demonstrates that we know exactly what we're doing. So you can trust us. Okay. At the end of this lesson, I'm going to show you a quote from Michael Jordan when he was asked at the end of his career, why are you successful? Why were you so successful? He said something that will not only teach you to be successful in general life, but it describes exactly what you should be doing on the IELTS test and what you should be doing during your preparation. Not playing basketball, but the key principles that he followed to be successful. And why should we listen to Michael Jordan? Well, someone described Michael Jordan like this. You could argue that Michael Jordan was as good at his job as anyone has ever been at their job, ever in anything. And I would actually agree with that. He was as good at his job as anyone has ever been at anything. So success leaves clues. Successful people, if you study them, you will notice common themes. And he said something at the end of his career which summarizes this entire webinar. And we'll show you that at the end. Okay, so this is going to take about an hour and a half, and we want to make sure that you are motivated and paying attention for the entire webinar. And when students ask me for motivation, I just ask them 4 simple questions, and this will motivate you better than anything else in the world. And I want you to answer these questions in the comments. So first question, what will happen to you if you don't get the IELTS score that you need? So if you fail the IELTS test repeatedly, what is going to happen to you? What bad things are going to happen? Put it in the comments. I'll give you 10 seconds and then we'll have a read of the comments. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. So nothing will happen, okay? Then you're wasting your time here. You'll make less money, you'll be demotivated, you'll have to try again, so waste a lot of time, a lot of money, will not get my PhD scholarship, can't attend university, I'll be depressed, I won't have my dream job, I'll have to try again, I'll have to take it again, which is going to cost you a huge amount of money and time. I won't be able to do my master's degree, won't be able to move to the country of my dreams. Yeah, okay. So the first part of motivation is run away from things that are going to cause you pain that you don't like. All right. So if you want to be motivated to prepare for the IELTS test, think about the negative. What bad things are going to happen if you fail? But we're not going to be all negative. Let's look at the second question of the 4 questions. Second question is, what is your why? Why are you doing the IELTS test? So the answer is not to get a high score. Think about what difference you will make. What will happen if you pass the IELTS test? What good things will happen? Maybe that's to do with you personally or something for your family or for other people. Could be related to a job, could be related to money. But why are you doing this? 10 seconds in the comments. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's have a look. Go to the UK, become a nurse, improve our language, improve my life, to study and live in a foreign country, to improve my career, to achieve my goals, move to Canada for better opportunities, international scholarship, get a better job. Okay, so motivation, the two things that motivate people the most are stay away from bad things and have goals, go towards good things. All right. So to stay motivated, number one, think about what will happen if you fail. And number two, why are you doing this? Think about your goal. What good things will happen? Well, let's have a look at question 3. So now we know the bad things will happen if we fail, and we know good things will happen if we pass. Third question. Are you prepared to invest the time and energy required to achieve your goal? At the very least, are you prepared to listen for the next 90 minutes and do the tasks and actually complete the tasks within this webinar? Simple yes or no question. So yes or no in the comments. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So all yes, 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 certainly, absolutely. Excellent. All right, great. Let's look at the last question and then we can start learning. This is the most important question. Do you believe you have the ability to get the score that you need? Do you believe that you have the ability to get the score that you need? So you really want this, you want to do the work, but are you capable of doing this? Do you have the ability? And be honest. It's fine to say no, but be honest with yourself. It's very important that you're honest. Again, in the comments, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So some sentences, yes, some lose confidence. I don't believe so. I do. Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so most of you are pretty confident. Okay, some of you are not so confident. So most students that we work with, they have no problem with the desire. They really want to get the score and they want to work hard. But the problem that a lot of them have is they don't have the ability. And there's two sides to that. Number one, you do have the ability. All of you watching right now have the ability to get the score that you need. The problem is that most of the stuff that you're learning about IELTS makes it more complicated and complex than it really is. What this lesson is going to do for you is teach you that the IELTS test is a lot simpler and straightforward. And that is going to give you the confidence that you have the ability, and that's going to keep you motivated. And as you are more motivated, you'll do more work. Your ability will increase. You'll gain more confidence. You'll do more work. Your ability will increase. You'll gain more confidence. That's how we're going to help you today. Because if things start to get very complicated and complex, you'll just give up and then you'll stop working and then you'll end up just quitting. So we're going to really show you how easy and straightforward it is today. So keep that in mind. All right. So we've got 3,023 very motivated people who want to take action. Let's help you do that. All right. So let's go in here. So this is the first thing that we're going to work on: how successful students quickly and easily think of ideas. Then we're going to work on these three things, but let's focus on ideas first. So we're going to start off with a little test. Here's a question for you. In many cities, people are living alone. What are the reasons for it? Is this a positive or negative development? Think of one idea for the first question and tell me what it is. You've got 10 seconds to do that. Put it in the comments. In many cities, people are living alone. What are the reasons for it? Think of one idea. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Let's have a look. Okay, improve their income for job, for work, for immigration, for jobs, fresh water. I haven't heard that one. Good, Khalid. Jobs. They don't want to be disturbed. They want to be independent, better opportunities for better living, no time for socializing, for privacy. It's positive. Okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to split your answers into two groups. One group is correct and the other group is wrong. So let's have a look and see who was right and who was wrong. So about 80% of you gave this type of answer. Better job opportunities, better education, better health, earn more money, better prospects, better government services like education, health, things like that. About 20% of you gave these types of answers: to be free and independent, privacy, fewer distractions, and do not have to worry about housemates or family. So, what I want you to do is I want you to think about the question and I want you to tell me which group is correct: the left hand side or the right hand side. If you think left, the ones here in orange are correct, right, left. If you think the ones here on the right, the black ones, right, right. But let's have a look at the question. In many cities, people are living alone. What are the reasons for it? Is this a positive or negative development? So in the comments, left or right. Okay. So why do people live alone in cities? Do people live alone in a city for better job opportunities? Do people live alone in a city to have better education or better health or to earn more money, better prospects or better government services? No, this is why people move to cities. People live alone in cities to be free and independent, for privacy, fewer distractions, and don't want to be distracted by housemates or family. The key lesson here is if you have no idea what the question means, which 80% of you did not, how will you be able to think of relevant ideas or answer the question properly? 80% of you gave the wrong idea, and it would be impossible for you to get more than a 6 really in your essay because you have completely misunderstood the question. And the question was not difficult. All right. So many people complain about, oh, just give me a strategy for thinking of ideas quickly. The first step is understanding the question. 80% of you did not understand that simple question. Do not worry. I'm going to give you a foolproof strategy that you will be able to understand every single question that comes up. So, how to analyze and understand a question. Number one, take the time to actually read and think about the question. IELTS is a high pressure test. You will be under a lot of stress. Most people think of irrelevant ideas not because the question is difficult or the person isn't intelligent. It is because you're under pressure. We do silly things when we're under pressure. You need to breathe, read the question, and take the time to think about the question. If you don't do that, you've failed already. So you're just wasting your time. These questions are designed to be simple and easy to understand. I know the people who write these questions who work at Cambridge. They spend a huge amount of time trying to figure out questions that the vast majority of people in the world will be able to understand. The problem is not the questions. The problem is the student rushing through it and not reading it and not following a proper strategy. Do not overcomplicate it. So, a lot of students, when you ask them that question outside of the IELTS context, if I just met you on the street and said, why do people live alone? You would think about it and then say, oh, for privacy. They don't want to be distracted. They want to just live alone to be quiet. But if I put that question in front of you and put IELTS writing task 2 in front of it, your brain automatically overcomplicates it. You have to remember that this is a simple test. But you need to learn to crawl before you walk. So I have two little boys, and one of them is 2 years old now, and he's walking fine, but he didn't try and walk straight away. He first learned how to crawl, and then he walked very badly, and then he walked slowly. Then now he's starting to walk normally, and later he will be able to run. What a lot of you are doing is trying to walk before you learn how to crawl. You first need to learn how to understand the question, and then you can think of ideas, and then you can write the essay. So here is the same strategy that we give our VIP students for understanding any question. Number one, what does the question mean? What do the words in the question mean? What does living alone in a city mean? Number two, what is the general topic? It's important that you understand the general topic so that you do not write about it. You do not write about it. This is important because a lot of students use what we call a shotgun approach. Think of a shotgun. Why do you use a shotgun, or why do you use a machine gun? A machine gun or a shotgun, you're just spraying the area with bullets and hoping that you hit something. This is the approach that a lot of you have when writing your essay. You just throw out as many different ideas as possible and hope that one of them lands, one of them answers the question. You don't want to be like using a machine gun or a shotgun. You want to be a sniper. That is why you want to think, what's the general topic? And then within that general topic, what is the specific topic? What are the specific things that they want me to write about? So, for example, that question was about living in cities, but the specific thing was about living alone in cities. And number four, what are the things they want me to do? Do they want me to give my opinion or discuss other people's opinions? Do they want me to talk about advantages and disadvantages or talk about problems and solutions? What do they want me to do with that question? So let's apply that strategy, that 4-step strategy. And at IELTS Advantage, what we do is we do that with every part of the test. Break it down into step-by-step strategies. So here's the question. What does the question mean? Well, it's people living alone in cities. It's not moving to cities. There's nothing here talking about moving to cities. So think about what it means. What is the general topic? Living in cities. What is the specific thing? What's about why do people live alone in many cities? And what are the things they want me to do? Well, they want me to say, what are the reasons? Why is this happening? Specifically, why is this happening? And is this a positive or negative development? So what we're doing is we're tuning in our brain into the specific question. Remember years ago, or maybe today, when you had to tune in your radio, when you had to turn the dial to tune in the exact radio frequency? That's exactly what we're doing with our brains. We're honing in like a sniper hones in on the target. And if you do that, it is impossible to miss. But if you just look at the question and rush through it and try and brainstorm ideas, then it's pretty much impossible to hit the target. So now that we've fully understood the question, we can now think of relevant ideas. Again, learn to crawl, then walk, then run. All of you are intelligent enough to do this, but some of you just skip these steps. Just like me not putting on sun cream when I was on holiday, and now I look really stupid. So we first need to understand the biggest problem with idea generation. So at IELTS Advantage, we teach you more what not to do than what to do. All right. It is way more important that you stop doing silly things, because that is going to improve your score way more than learning how to do very, very smart things or learning how to get better. To improve your score, all you need to do is figure out what things you're doing wrong and stop doing them. So, what is the biggest problem with idea generation? And then we can stop doing that. If you make this mistake, you will struggle to ever think of ideas. There's a much, much easier way. So, what is your number one struggle? We are obsessed with this question at IELTS Advantage. We have been asking students this question for years and years and years because we want to know what students struggle with, and then we can fix those struggles, and then it's easier for our students to get the scores that they need. The data on this question, because we record all the data, we record all the answers to these questions, idea generation is always number one. It's always top of the list when we ask, what's your biggest struggle? What do nearly all teachers, schools, and YouTube gurus teach? In the comments, 10 seconds. What do 99% of IELTS teachers teach for idea generation? Brainstorming. Okay? This is what most of them teach. If idea generation is the number one problem, and all or nearly all teachers have the same solution, why is it still a problem? I'll repeat that because it's a very important question you need to ask yourself. If idea generation is the number one problem and all teachers have the same solution, why is it still a problem? Because if the solution worked, it wouldn't be the number one problem. The problem is the teaching method, not the student. You should not feel bad about idea generation or not being able to think of ideas, because it is the teacher's job to teach you this and make it easier. But unfortunately, this number one solution, the most popular method, doesn't work. So why do IELTS teachers do this? When I started in a new school, and it was probably the best school in the country for teaching IELTS, it was the most expensive school in the country. I was shocked at how teachers prepared for IELTS lessons. I came from a different background. I was a lawyer for many years before becoming a teacher. And I was expecting them to do a lot of research to really prepare their lessons. But I was quite shocked on how they actually did that, even at the best schools. So when a teacher is preparing for a lesson, how do you think they prepare? So if they're preparing for a lesson teaching you idea generation or any IELTS lesson, how do you think they prepare for that lesson? 10 seconds in the comments, and then I'm going to read the comments. See how well you know your teachers. So when a teacher is preparing for a lesson, how do you think they prepare? 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. First person got it correct. They copy it from the internet. Yeah, they Google it. They just go onto Google, go onto YouTube, IELTS Task 2 idea generation, and they copy whatever they see there. Now, if what they are copying is correct, then it's no problem. But if they're all copying things that are wrong, then that is a huge, huge problem. So let's have a look. So they didn't ask themselves a simple question: does this actually help students? So they're all teaching brainstorming, they're all copying each other. Not many of them are stopping and thinking, does this actually help the student? This is why I'm getting paid. I'm getting paid money to help the student. Does this actually help the student? So you get the blind leading the blind. So this is me and my little boy. Beside here is a very dangerous lake. Here I'm leading him. I'm taking care of him. Imagine if I just said, let's just do whatever you want to do. He would jump in the lake. He's crazy. He's only 8. You get the blind leading the blind. So you get people who don't know what they're doing, teaching other people who don't know what they're doing, teaching other people who don't know what they're doing, teaching other people who don't know what they're doing. So you just get a bad copy of a bad copy of a bad copy of a bad copy. And after years, everything is so complicated and complex that nobody really knows what they're doing. So then the next question you're probably thinking, why do schools not care about this? If someone owns a school that is teaching IELTS and they know their teachers are teaching things that don't work, why don't they improve anything? Why don't they change anything? Because there is no incentive to actually help you. Incentive means make money. If everyone passes the IELTS test first time, these schools would go out of business. They would go bankrupt. How these schools make their money is when you fail, you come back. They get repeat customers. So you come back and you say, oh, I failed the test. And they say, oh, it's because you didn't study hard enough. Or, oh, you need another class. You need a higher level class. You need more work. Give me more money. The more complicated it is and the higher the failure rate, the more money these schools make. So there is no incentive for them to hire the best teachers. So what did I do? I did something that no one has ever done before, I think. I asked the students, all right, this revolutionary thing, ask the students, does this work? How do you feel? We constantly ask our students this. So let's do this in the comments. 10 seconds. How do you feel when you are brainstorming? See, when you are brainstorming task 2 questions, how do you feel? 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 2, 1. Nervous, stressed, brain fog, frustrated, sleepy, unprepared, perplexed, like on and on and on, just negative, 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 negative. So the teachers are teaching you something that A, doesn't work and makes you feel terrible. So, like, if it worked and it made you feel terrible, I could understand. All right. You don't have to feel great all the time when studying, but it doesn't work and you feel terrible. Do not listen to people who teach you things that don't work and make you feel bad. All right. And it makes your test day terrible as well, because on test day, you're full of stress, you're full of anxiety, you cannot do anything. If I did the test and I was very stressed and very worried, I wouldn't perform very well because stress kind of messes up our brains. Don't listen to these people that are making things way more complicated than they need to be. Let's show you a better way. So, a better way, first of all, there is no such thing as an impressive idea or a high level idea or a band 9 idea. They do not exist. The examiners do not have a list of band 9 ideas, band 8 ideas, band 7 ideas, band 6 ideas. That is not how it works. All right. The reason why we're saying that is most of you are making this idea generation process more difficult and more complicated and more stressful because people are teaching you that your ideas need to be impressive or high level. They don't. The opposite is true, actually. Believe me, we have 10 former IELTS examiners, all with about 155 years of IELTS experience between them. They all agree with this. So stop making things more complicated than they need to be. One thing you'll hear me saying over and over and over again, my VIP students hear me say this but 20,000 times, keep it simple. This really is the number one strategy that we teach. Keep it simple. So a better way is to think of simple, straightforward, obvious ideas, not complicated, high-level band 9 ideas. Your ideas need to be, number one, relevant. What does relevant mean? Relevant means, does it answer the question or not? So why do people live alone in cities? For better job opportunities. That's irrelevant. For privacy. That's relevant. Number two, your idea should be easy to understand. Why are you writing something? You're not writing to get a high score. You're not writing to impress the examiner. You are writing to help the reader, the examiner, understand what you're writing about. If your ideas, if your ideas are easy to understand, then they're easy to read and you will get a higher score. And that also means that they are easy to think of. There's no point spending 10 minutes trying to think of ideas. A lot of the people that we work with on our VIP course are people like doctors, lawyers, engineers, software developers, the most intelligent people in society. And what they do, why they fail over and over again, is they try and make everything way more complicated than it is. Doctors, especially. If you're a doctor, you have been taught for years that everything is very complicated because the human body and medicine is very, very complicated, of course. The IELTS test is not. It's not complicated, so don't make it complicated. Your ideas should be quick to think of, all right? Again, you are under pressure, you're under time, think about it quickly and easy to write about. You should be able to take your ideas and develop them by explaining them, giving examples. If you don't know how to do that with ideas, then don't do that. So, think of the opposite. Irrelevant, difficult to understand, difficult to think of, very slow to think of, and very difficult to write about. That is what most of you are doing. All you have to do is just do the opposite. A relevant idea that is easy to understand, easy to think of, quick to think of, and easy to write about. So how do we do that? Okay, I want you to read this question. Apologies if any of you have been negatively affected by this thing. The reason why I'm picking it is not to bring up bad memories. The reason I'm picking it is that all of you understand it. All right, it's an easy topic to use to teach this. So this is a serious problem. What causes it to spread so quickly? What's the best way to stop it? So what we teach our students is a variety of different idea generation techniques. I'm going to give you 3 or 4 of them. I first want you to just think about this, all right? Don't write anything, just think about it, all right? So the first technique we're going to give you is this. Simply ask yourself those questions directly and give the most obvious answer. Let's focus on the second one. What's the best way to stop it? Don't write anything. Just think about it in your head. What's the best way to stop that? What's the most obvious answer? You don't need to brainstorm that, do you? The first answer that pops into your head is probably the most relevant, easy to write about, easy to think of idea. Here's another technique. If your friend asked you, what would you say? Imagine you're talking to your friend and they're worried about this. You're in a coffee shop. And they say, oh, how do we stop this? How can I prevent myself from getting this? Again, don't write anything, just think about it. What would you say to them? We actually call this second one the coffee shop technique. because it's very effective, because what it does is it takes you out of the IELTS context, just normalizes it. Here's another technique number 3. If we asked 100 people on the streets of London or Sydney or Toronto or New York, an English-speaking city, and we asked 100 people this question: what's the best way to stop this? What would be the most common answer, the most popular answer? What answer would you hear 80% of the time? We call this the Family Feud technique. Have you ever seen that game show, Family Feud, where they say, we asked 100 people, blah, 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 blah question? What this does is it forces you to not think of the most complex answer, but the most popular, the most common answer. That's the answer that will be definitely relevant and easy to write about. So these 3 techniques, and we teach many, many different ones on the VIP course, but what they're designed to do is generate simple ideas, because that's exactly what you will be doing on test day if you follow our techniques. So we call it the VIP laser idea generation method. Simply take the question and focus on answering that specific question, or use one of the techniques that we gave you. Once you have laser focus, you will generate an idea at the speed of light, instantly. All of you did that instantly when you looked at that question. If I gave you a piece of paper and told you to brainstorm, you would come up with maybe 20 irrelevant ideas. It's the exact opposite to what you should be doing. This idea will be simple, obvious, straightforward, easy to understand, and easy to write about. So we're using simple techniques that are easy to use and generate exactly what we need. Simple, easy, do exactly what the examiners are looking for if we want a band 7, 8, or 9. Why do we have more success stories than any other IELTS course in the world? Because we do this. We do exactly the opposite to everyone else who's telling you that it's really, really complicated. It's not. And if you go and check out all of our success stories, or you won't be able to look at them all, but if you go and look at a few of them, what all of them have in common is nearly all of them say, whenever I simplified things, whenever I made things less complicated and simpler, that's when I was able to get 8.5, or improve from 5.5 to a 7, or improve from 6.5 to a 7, 6.5 to a 7 in just 10 days. This lady, when she came to us, she had great vocabulary, great grammar. She was able to write effectively. But her previous teachers had told her that she needed fancy and impressive ideas. So she was spending a very long time brainstorming, and her essays were a complete mess. We taught her one thing, just taught her that thing that we taught you, and she was able to go from 6.5 to 7 in 10 days. 8,777, how I scored 7 in writing, all of these did that by making things simpler, not more complicated. Okay, now we know how to understand the question, we know how to generate ideas. We need to take those ideas and structure them in an essay. So let's look at one simple structure that guarantees you'll write an effective essay. So we're going to use this question again. All I want you to do is just think about this question. Don't write anything. Just think about this question for about 20 or 30 seconds. And I'm just going to get a drink. Okay. 10 more seconds. Okay. So I want you to use your imagination. I know that's difficult sometimes, but try to use your imagination as much as possible. I'm going to tell you a story, and you're going to be thinking, what has this got to do with IELTS? What has this got to do with structure? It will all make sense in about 5 minutes. So Just bear with me. Imagine someone has been in a coma, they've been asleep since 2018, and they wake up in 2020, in the middle of that crisis that we were in. You need to explain what happened in 2020 to them. So they went to sleep, the world was fine, they woke up, and the world was falling apart. What would you say? You might say something like this: this is the biggest issue the world currently faces. It spreads rapidly because people infect others unknowingly, and the best way to stop this is through social distancing. You might say that to them. If you told them that, would they understand you? Remember, they're waking up from 2 years of sleep. They would probably say, can you give me more detail? Like, that's a lot to take in. That's a lot to process. I don't quite understand. Can you give me a little bit more detail? So you would introduce the issues here. Then you would take the first issue and you would go into detail. People who have no symptoms can spread this without knowing they are doing so. This means that a very large number of people are becoming infected whilst being unaware they have a problem. And then these newly infected people spread the virus to even more hosts. It is not until several days later that symptoms start to develop, and by this time, it is too late to stop the number of cases growing exponentially. For example, Italy was one of the first countries outside of China to be badly affected because the illness had been transmitting for many weeks before the health service started to come under pressure. By then, it was too late. Okay, so we've taken the first idea here and we've explained it in more detail to help them understand. And then we've given them an example to help them understand even more. So now they're getting anxious, they're getting nervous. Oh, how can we stop this? So you need to explain the second part of your introduction. How do we stop this? The best way to mitigate the problem is to maintain social distancing. This means that people should avoid coming into contact with one another as much as possible, as it spreads primarily through the air, droplets, and surfaces. The fewer interactions people have with one another, the less chance of people have of being infected. For instance, the UK government shut down the entire country in March 2020 by telling everyone to stay at home and only leave if it was essential, which dramatically curbed the R rate. That was a fun time, wasn't it? All right. Doesn't seem like 3 years ago. So, what we've done is we've taken the solution, we've explained it to help the person understand, and then we've given them an example to help them understand. Now, what the person who was in a coma would say to you, okay, can you say that again? Can you repeat that? Just summarize that? Sure, there was a global pandemic in 2020 because of this, and this spread through the entire world because it spread quickly before a patient experienced symptoms. Social distancing measures were implemented in most countries to curtail the spread. So we've summarized the main points for them, again, to help them understand. So what did we just do there? Paragraph 1, the first thing that we said to them was we introduced the topic. Hello, wakey wakey, good morning. This is what is happening in the world. But we didn't go into detail. We just gave them the main ideas. Paragraph 2, we took the first main idea and we gave them a lot more detail. Then we took the second main idea and we described it in a lot more detail. And then we summarized it for them to help them understand. Your essay, your task 2 essay, does not need to be any more complicated than that. The approach that we take at IELTS Advantage is not to help the student improve their score. It is help the student improve their communication through writing. Help the student improve their ability to communicate with the examiner. Help the examiner. The more we help the examiner, the easier we make it for the examiner. Just like we made it easy for that person coming out of the coma, the higher our score is going to be. So all of these tricks and shortcuts and bells and whistles, they're not effective because they don't do what you want them to do, which is teach you how to write effectively. In fact, your entire introduction gives you the entire structure. So what we do with our students when we're teaching writing task 2 is we spend most of our time on the introduction. We spend a huge amount of time on helping students nail introductions, really perfect their introductions. Because if you can write a very, very good introduction, it makes the rest of the essay far easier to write. So if we have a look here, in black, we introduce the main topic. Why do we do that? Because when someone introduces something, it makes it easier to understand. Then we answered the first question in light blue and the second question in dark blue. And this tells the examiner that A, you know exactly what you're doing, but B, more importantly, what is coming up in the rest of the essay. So paragraph 2 is going to be about light blue. Paragraph 3 is going to be about dark blue. So the entire structure for your essay is contained in the introduction. And then paragraph 4, all it is a summary of your introduction. So to write your conclusion, all you have to do is look at your introduction and summarize it. It's not about making things more complicated. It's about making things easier. So you probably looked at that, and that's a lot of information to take in. That is why we're going to put the entire structure, sentence by sentence, in the PDF download. We're going to give you that at the end of the lesson. Please don't fill the comments with, give me the PDF, where's the PDF? We're going to give it to you at the end, okay? So don't worry. We're also going to give you practice questions and sample essays and feedback and all of those good things, but at the end. So we've covered the first 2 steps. Before we move on to step 3, IELTS is a simple test and you have the ability to pass it. Do not make it more complicated than it needs to be. All our students and teachers agree that you should keep it simple. So you've thousands of band 7, 8, and 9 students all saying, keep it simple. You have real expert teachers, some of the best teachers in the world, saying, keep it simple. Guess what you should do? Certain schools and YouTube gurus want to make it more complicated. And why do you think that is? Because it's easier to sell you things when you are confused and when you are desperate. I'm not criticizing teachers. I'm not going to name individuals or anything like that. I'm just giving you the truth. It is the oldest sales tactic in the world. Make things very confusing, make things complicated, make people desperate. It's very easy to sell to people like that. I would be a multi-millionaire if I could do that. But unfortunately, I have this thing called a conscience, which means that I have to tell you the truth and teach you what works. Now, some of you in the comments are probably saying, or some of you at home are probably thinking, this is too simple. If I do this, I will fail. What I always say to those people is the bird born in a cage thinks flying is an illness. If you have failed the test multiple times and looked at YouTube videos hundreds of times and read books, they're all telling you that it's complicated and that tricks and secrets and all these things work. You are like a bird that is in a cage. And when someone opens the door, you think that flying is weird. Because it is to you. It's totally understandable. All I'll say is if you have failed 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times, try it my way once. You'll see what happens. And if you still don't trust me, again, look at our students. Band 6.5 to 7 in writing. Band 8, how I passed IELTS writing after failing 10 times. Guess what he did? He kept it simple and he got the score that he needed. Band 6 to Band 8, Band 6.5 to 8.5. Ruchika, apologies if I'm mispronouncing her name. I'm not very good with Indian names. She got 8,777 and moved to Canada. But her teachers were telling her she was getting feedback from teachers that didn't know what they were doing. These teachers told her that they were examiners and they were expert teachers and all the rest of it. And what they were doing was giving her a list of complex grammar structures, giving her a list of advanced sentences to put into her essay. She failed over and over and over again. We told her, just don't do that. Just write naturally. Use natural vocabulary and grammar, which we'll teach you in a second. And she got her 877 and moved to Canada. Okay, so we've done ideas, we've done structure. Now let's look at grammar. And these are the things that the examiners are looking at. 25% of your test, your score, is do your ideas answer the question? Another 25% is did you structure your essay coherently and cohesively and logically? 25% of your score is grammar, 25% of your score is vocabulary. That's why we're focusing on these things. Let's help you fix your grammar mistakes. Okay, so how we teach grammar is different from most schools. We teach it using this principle called the Pareto principle. Some of you will have heard of this, some of you won't. So Pareto was a 19th century Italian man who was an economist. So what can a 19th century Italian economist teach us about grammar? Everything. Not just about grammar, but exactly why you are failing the test and how to fix it. And not just grammar, every part of your test. And not just the IELTS test, every part of your life that you're not successful in. The Pareto principle normally can help you. So this is Pareto, sometimes called the 80-20 principle. So the 80-20 principle or the Pareto principle. So Pareto observed that 80% of Italy's wealth belonged to 20% of the population. So he started to think about this. Is this because 20% of the population are just greedy, or they're better, or what is it? But he started to observe this not only in people and in economics, but in nature as well. So he was walking through his garden and he observed that a small number of pea plants, about 20% of the plants, produced 80% of the peas. So if he had 10 plants in his garden, 2 of those plants produced 80% of the crop. And he started to notice this principle everywhere in the universe. So 20% of criminals commit 80% of the crimes. 20% of drivers cause 80% of traffic accidents. 80% of pollution originates from 20% of factories or 20% of countries. 20% of a company's products represent 80% of its sales. 20% of employees are responsible for 80% of the results. That is a fact. I know that. I learned that very, very painfully. 20% of students have grades 80% of higher or higher. Pareto principle is a prediction that 80% of effects come from 20% of causes. It's not always 80-20. Sometimes it's 90-10, 95-5, 99-1, but a very large percentage of the effects in a system come from a very small number of the causes. So what the hell has this got to do with IELTS grammar? A small number of grammar areas cause a very large number of mistakes. So think of all the different parts of grammar. You have tenses, punctuation, articles, preposition, subject-verb agreement, and on and on and on and on. There's a very long list of problems or areas, but only a small number of those areas cause 80% of the mistakes. So there are many areas of grammar, but it's highly unlikely that you need to work on all areas of grammar. Doing that makes everything more difficult. So if you ask a teacher, how do I improve my grammar? The teacher will give you a teacher answer, which is go and buy a grammar book or go and do a grammar course. If you ask a chef, a chef question, they'll give you if you ask a marketer, they'll give you a marketing answer. If you have a doctor, they'll ask you a doctor answer. If you ask a teacher, they always think like a teacher. Not to criticize teachers, that's just the way that they think. But that is a complete waste of time because most students do not need to fix every part of grammar. Improving your grammar is a waste of time and is ineffective. It would be like getting a new car if you have a flat tire. So if you have a flat tire, do you go and buy a new car? No, that would be ridiculous. That would be really stupid. Many of you watching right now have paid money for very expensive grammar courses or bought very, very thick and boring grammar books when you don't need them. Quite simply, you need to identify the issue and fix the issue. So if your car is broken down, there could be 1,000 different parts in your car that are broken. Only one is broken. You don't buy a new car. You take it to a mechanic and they identify the problem and they fix the problem. You'll see a dramatic improvement in a very short space of time. So how can you do that? So if you have a health problem, you go to a doctor, all right? A lot of IELTS students, what I notice what they're doing is they're going into these like Reddit forums and Facebook groups and asking other students who got 5.5 or 6 to give them feedback on their essays. That's like going to the hospital and telling the doctors and nurses that you don't need them and asking the patients to fix you. Would you go to the hospital with a broken leg and ask the other people with broken legs to fix your leg? Why do you go to Facebook groups and ask people with terrible English to fix your essay? If you had a sore tooth, you would go to a dentist. Why should you do that? Because they know how to identify problem tooth. You don't need to remove every tooth. You need to identify the problem tooth and remove that one. If I have a problem with my website, I don't try and fix it myself because I'm an idiot. All right. I'm a complete idiot when it comes to software and websites and everything like that. I hire an expert. When my car breaks down, I don't go onto YouTube and Google, how can I fix my own car? That would be really, really dumb because it would take me years of learning to actually learn to fix my car. What do most IELTS students do when they have a problem with their essay, problem with their grammar? Go and search on YouTube. That's pretty dumb. Why should IELTS be any different from this? And that's why I started IELTS Advantage. So I was working for one of the biggest schools in the world. You all know the name of it. I can't tell you the name of it. And they were wasting their students' time and getting very, very average results with their writing course. So they were teaching a writing course, but what they were doing was teaching everything about writing and everything about grammar. I think the course was 16 weeks. Of those 16 weeks, most students only needed about 2 weeks of the 16. So that's why they were getting average results. I redesigned their entire IELTS course to just focus on the problem areas that each student had, and this increased results dramatically. Of course it would. I did this not by thinking like a teacher. I did this by thinking like everyone else in the world, thinking like a lawyer, thinking like a doctor, thinking like an engineer. Find the problem, fix the problem. Unless you're a teacher, in your line of work, you probably do this all day. Find problems and fix problems. Find problems and fix problems. You do not, like if you're a lawyer and someone comes in and they want a divorce, you don't hand them a book on how to get divorced. You find the problem and you fix the problem. All right. This is exactly what we do at IELTS Advantage, and it's why our students are so successful because we think like everyone else in the world. We don't think like teachers. So you have a choice. This is what most of you are going to do. Number one, Figure out your own grammar problems, try and fix them yourself. This is cheap in the short term, but will take a very long time and cost you more long term, not only in money, but also in stress. I totally understand why most of you will do this though, because most of you either don't have the money or you just have mindset issues around money. Like you think that saving money is going to make you money. Number two, use an expert with a proven system that has helped more people get the scores they need than anyone else in the world. Most of you will not choose that option because it means spending money today and making a lot more money in the future. Most people don't think that way, but which system do you think is more effective? Which one have you tried? Most of you have tried number one. Did it work? If it worked, you wouldn't be watching this video. Check out some of these if you want more help with grammar. This student in particular, this student was repeating the test over and over again because she didn't know she had a grammar issue. So the tricky thing about grammar is if you knew you were making those mistakes, you wouldn't make them. But if you're making the mistakes, you don't know you're making them. So you really do need an expert to quickly look at your essay and go, your big problem is articles, or your big problem is prepositions, or your big problem is punctuation. That will take a good teacher 20 seconds, but it will take you years to figure that out. All right, so we know how to do ideas, we know how to do structure, we know how to do grammar. Finally, let's finish up with vocabulary. And well done for making it this far. How long? We've been doing more than an hour now, so well done. We've got about half an hour more. Okay, so just keep going. Vocabulary is very, very important. Okay, so hopefully you can see this. If you can't read it exactly, don't worry, I'll explain it. But this is basically your English level, all right? A1 is beginner English, so you know nothing basically. B1 and B2, these are kind of intermediate, pre-intermediate, intermediate students. So you can have a conversation, but your English is quite basic. C1 and C2, this is upper intermediate, advanced level students. All right. And these correspond with the different IELTS bands. All right. So B1 and B2, you might be getting from a 4 up to a 6.5, maybe a 7. C1 and C2, you might be getting a 7 all the way up to a 9. The problem about vocabulary is that a lot of students understand if you go to the Cambridge Dictionary, every word in the English language is categorized into this A1, A2, B1, B2, C1, C2. So what a lot of students believe is if they use lots of C1 and C2 words, they will improve their score. Let's see if that is true or not. So what I want you to do is have a look at this essay. I'm going to give you 30 seconds, and then I want you to write in the comments what score for vocabulary. What score would you give this for vocabulary? I'll give you 30 seconds, and then write it in the comments, and I'll get a drink. 20 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. Okay, so 3. A band 3. A band 3 means that you fell asleep on and drooled over the page. Like it's not that. 6.5, 7.5, 9, 6. 8, 7.5, 6, 8, 8. The screen is blurry. 6, 8, 9, 8, 6, 7, 7, 6.5, 4.5. Okay. So the interesting thing there is we have a range from 3 all the way up to 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. What that means is, so not just this, if you have if you ask a question to a group of people and there is a huge range in the answers and there's only one correct answer, that means most of you are wrong. All right. That's not my opinion. That's just a fact. All right. If there's only one answer, the correct answer, and most of you are giving different answers, that means most of you are wrong. I'm not doing that to criticize you or anything like that. What I'm doing is to show you that, first of all, the biggest problem that students have with vocabulary is not vocabulary. It is what they believe about vocabulary. It is what they believe to be true about vocabulary that is actually wrong. And that's actually good news for students because you don't actually have to improve your vocabulary. You don't have to learn new words. You just have to change your mindset, change what you think about vocabulary, and then you're going to be able to improve quite quickly. All right, maybe not that quickly, but you'll be able to improve by the end of today. All right, so let's see what we can do there, and I'll give you the real band at the end. All right, so I can't believe nearly 3,000 people are still watching this. All right, take a look at these words. Are these words high level or complex or, band 9 or whatever you want to call them? Are these high level words? Accountable, adolescent, advocate, allocate, aspirations, assault. 10 seconds. Just a yes or no. Are they high level? Are they complex? Would they get you a good score? Yes or no? 10 seconds. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. So no, no. Someone says on. I think you mean no. Yes, no, yes. They are high level. No, they're not. Yes, they are. No, they're not. No, no, no. No, no, no. Yes, they are. Okay. It's about 50-50. Maybe 60% no. So those are C1 and C2 words. All right. Most of you said that they were not high level. This is the first lesson. All right. What most of you believe are high level words are words you don't know, are words that are very long and complicated, and not many people use them, and you don't really know what they mean. That is totally untrue. Those words are quite short, quite simple, but they are C1 and C2 words. So that's the first lesson that you need to bear in mind. What you believe are high level words and what are really high level words are two different things. So these are all C1 and C2 words. Here are some more band 9 words, as they call them. Dual, leadership, misuse, preliminary, misinterpretation. These are all the highest level of words, C1 and C2 words. But most of you believe that these are not high level words because you think that they're too short, or you're able to use them, or you understand what they mean. Because most of you believe things that are not right and not correct about vocabulary. And if you believe things that are not correct, you're going to get a lower score. So what we do with our students is we don't teach them new vocabulary because your existing vocabulary is normally good enough. Do you already have a wide-ranging vocabulary? Your current vocabulary is probably good enough. And we know this because we've been running students through the VIP course for 8 years. It never changes. The way that we help students improve their vocabulary is by giving them the confidence that their existing vocabulary is already good enough. The problem is that you believe it isn't good enough. You believe, most of you, believe that you don't know enough words. This means that you focus on learning lists of high-level words. What is the most common strategy amongst IELTS teachers? They give you lists of band 9 or high level or golden or diamond or whatever bullshit that they're teaching this week. And they tell you that this is a magic list of words that will magically get you a high score. If you focus on something that doesn't work and ignore what does work, what happens? Not just in IELTS, in any walk of life. If you do something that doesn't work and you ignore what does work, you fail over and over and over again. Because these teachers, either consciously or unconsciously, are doing something called gaslighting. Do you know what gaslighting means? It's a subtle form of emotional manipulation that often results in the recipient doubting their perception of reality and their sanity. So the classic example is, and I apologize to you if anyone has been affected by this, I'm just giving an example that will help people understand, is if you have a husband who is abusive towards their wife and they blame their wife, all right? They blame the person that they're abusing. They say, it's because it's your fault, because you're doing bad things or whatever. So the person, the victim, gets blamed and they start to lose grip on reality and their sanity. So what these teachers are doing is they are teaching you, by giving you these lists of high-level words, they are teaching you that you are not good enough. Your vocabulary is not good enough. And what that does is it creates a dependency. Why do so many wives not leave their husbands when they've been, abused for years? Because they become dependent on that person. Why are the most popular YouTube videos on vocabulary, why do they all have a similar theme? Learn these 7 high-level words to guarantee a band 9. They are manipulating you. They are gaslighting you. So, is that just my opinion? No, I don't ever give opinions without backing it up with facts. So, at IELTS Advantage, we are very lucky because we have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of band 7, 8, and 9 students. We took their essays and we put it through some software that analyzes all the words in hundreds of essays, band 7, 8, and 9 essays. And what that software does is it shows you the frequency of words. These are the top 20 most used words in band 7, 8, and 9 essays. And all of these students got band 7, 8, and 9 from our examiners and the real test. The, to, of, and, in, that, is, there, for, are, this, they, people, because it, more, can be there. Excuse me, I've been talking a lot. These words made up over a third of all essays. A third. And these are the simplest words in the English language. So who is correct? YouTubers or data? What we teach our students is something called the birthday cake strategy. It's actually my little boy's birthday on Saturday. He's 2 on April Fool's Day. I can't wait till he gets older and I'm going to run the same April Fool's joke on him. Just pretend that it's not his birthday. That'll be fun. So the birthday cake strategy is, if you think of a birthday cake, it is very fancy looking. But if you break down the ingredients of a birthday cake, they are simple ingredients. 95 to 98% of a birthday cake is water, milk, butter, sugar. These are simple ingredients that can be found in any shop in any part of the world. But on top are the sprinkles. But the sprinkles only make up like 1 or 2% of the birthday cake. But that's what everybody sees. That's what makes it look impressive. our VIP students use the exact same strategy. 90 to 95% of the words that they use in their essays are simple A1, A2, B1, B2, B2 words. Only a small percentage of those words are high-level words. And as I showed you before, high-level words are not really that high level. So just to prove this to you even further, because many of you love your IELTS gurus and you can't believe that they're wrong. What I did was I took the good essays from all of the Cambridge books. So, if you go to the back of the Cambridge books, it says like this essay is good. I took all of those essays and put it through the same software. And this is what came back out. The vast majority of words produced by Cambridge, and Cambridge says that they're good essays, the vast majority of words are A1, A2, B1, B2. I'm not very good at mathematics, but I think that that's like less than 4%. I'm terrible with math, so apologies if I'm wrong. But like 1.9 plus 1.4, that's less than 4. So I hope less than 4% were C1 and C2 words. And when I put through my own students' essays, exactly the same. So remember I showed you this. Some of you said this was a band 3. I think the average score that most of you said was like a band 6 or 7. This is what this essay looks like when you put it through that software. Vast majority, A1, A2, B1, B2. 2.5 plus 1.8. Let's call that around 4. All right, but only 7 words. 7 words in the whole essay are C1 and C2. So let's have a look. Look at all the amazing vocabulary here. Studying art promotes creativity, reduces stress, can foster unique ideas, alleviating stress. The arts, perform academically, future careers, child's emotional well-being, alleviating stress. This is full of amazing vocabulary. But most of you looked at it and thought that it was a low score because 7 is a low score. I know a lot of you need a band 7, and band 7 would be would be amazing if you got it, and it would be. But, if I got a band 7, it would be terrible. It's actually quite low. This is much, much, much higher. All right. But why did most of you look at this essay and think that it was low level for vocabulary? Because most of you understood the vocabulary. You believe you're not good, so you think that you need to do all of these fancy tricks and learn all of these fancy words. When the reality is that the vast majority of you, if you just use the words you know to answer the question clearly, you would be fine. So in this essay, there are 3 C2 words: outlet, syllabus, relieves. Again, you don't think that these words are high level. High level words are not high level. You don't have to use the word plethora, for example. IELTS examiners see that every day. All right. Nobody ever uses plethora. And C1 words: immense, attaining, enhances. Again, not that complicated. So if I use 6 high-level words, will I get a high score? No. You aren't being judged on your ability to use C1 and C2 alone. You're being judged on your ability to use all levels of words. In other words, if you get the basics wrong, if you get the fundamentals wrong, it doesn't matter if you do the complex things right. So this is why most people fail vocabulary. They go onto YouTube, they watch lots of videos called "Learn These 7 Magic Words That Guarantee a Band 11" or whatever nonsense they learn this week. And even if you used those 7 words correctly in your essay, you would still fail, because I guarantee you are making mistakes with lots of other words. It is not about using a few words correctly. It is about using all your words as correctly as possible. Everyone makes mistakes. Even Band 9 students make a few little slips here and there. Your job is to use vocabulary to clearly answer the question. And you're going to get a much higher score if you focus on that than learning lists of high-level words. And if you still don't believe me, has using lists of high-level vocabulary worked for you in the past? The average score for writing worldwide is 5.5. If these YouTube videos worked, do you think the average score would be 5.5? So lexical resource, just a fancy way of saying vocabulary. The people at Cambridge like to dress things up in a fancy way. Not about using complex or academic words. There's no such thing as academic words for IELTS Writing Task 2. There's no such thing as complex words. The key really is accuracy. Is your word spelled correctly? Is the collocation correct? Is the use of the word and the grammar correct? Most importantly, does the meaning mean what you want it to mean? Way more importantly, is the use of something called topic-specific vocabulary. So what is topic-specific vocabulary? So let's say you're writing an essay about global warming. You're going to use words like CO2, climate change, electric cars, internal combustion engines. But if you were writing an essay about going to Mars, will rockets ever go and people live on Mars? You're going to use words like rockets, astronaut, things like that. Those are topic-specific words that we use in the English language to talk about that topic specifically. So the thing that is very easy to test is to give students a very specific topic and then look at their use of topic-specific words, because if you can do it for one topic, you're highly likely to be able to do it for any topic, which indicates that you have a very wide-ranging vocabulary. So that's why learning words like plethora and then inserting them into your essay don't work, because it's not topic-specific. It is better to use simple words correctly than use complex language incorrectly. I'll repeat that because it's very, very, very important. It is better to use simple words correctly than use complex language incorrectly. So remember, I showed you this man at the beginning of the lesson. At the end of his career, he was asked, "How were you so successful?" And this is what he said: "Fundamentals were the most crucial part of my game in the MBA. Everything I did, everything I achieved can be traced back to the way I approached the fundamentals." What are fundamentals? The basics, the simple things. He was as good at his job as anyone has ever been at their job ever. And he focused on the basics. And you might look at that and think, well, he's doing a very complicated thing there. Yes, this is one of the most complicated things a human being has ever done, ever. But you cannot do that unless you have mastered the fundamentals. Learn to crawl before you can walk, before you can run, before you can dunk a basketball, before you can jump from the free throw line and dunk a basketball. And he also said this: you can practice shooting 8 hours a day, but if your technique is wrong, then all you become is very good at shooting the wrong way. Get the fundamentals down and the level of everything you do will rise. This is the problem that most of you have. You're working very hard. Remember at the beginning of the lesson, are you prepared to put the energy and the time in? A lot of you are working hard, but all you are doing is becoming very good at shooting the wrong way, because the people teaching you and the things that you are learning are wrong. So all you are doing is working very hard to become worse. You are working hard to lower your score and waste money and waste time. Don't believe me? Again, we have hundreds of interviews with past students who were wasting their time, wasting their money, We started working with them. We simplified everything for them, and then they got the score that they needed. At this point, I don't have to show you any more evidence. I think either you get it or you don't get it. So, for making it this far, we would like to reward you. Would you like more information about our VIP course? It is not free. We have, I think, 17 places available today. If you want more information about how to join the VIP course, and we also have a special offer, you can stick around and you can listen. If you don't want to, you can stop watching and go and watch something else. That's all. Do something else. But I won't waste my time teaching you anything about this if you don't want it. So can you let me know in the comments, do you want more information about joining the VIP course? It's not free, but we do have a special offer. So, and anyone asking for the PDF will be removed immediately. It's not the end. All right. So Nazima, yes. Irma, yes. Miss Jenny, yes. So most of you want more information. Okay, please listen. All right, very, very, very important. Please listen to what I'm about to say. There are 2,644 of you. We only have 17 places available on our VIP course. Also, because there's so many of you, I don't have time to answer individual questions about the VIP course. And there's going to be lots of them. All right. So what I'm asking you to do is watch the next 15, 20 minutes where I will tell you everything you need to know about the VIP course, and it will answer 99% of your questions. Please listen, because I do not have time to, and I apologize for that, but I just do not, I'm not Superman. I do not have time to answer 1,000 different questions. So all you need to do is just listen for the next 20 minutes. If you decide the VIP course is for you, I'll give you a special link where you can get the special offer and you can join. If you listen and you think it's not for you, then that's fine too. All right. We don't have that many places, so it's up to you. All right. So some of you are asking questions already. Just watch. All right. Please watch. It'll all be fine. It'll all be fine. And if you have questions at the end of the presentation, I will try and answer them, but it's much more efficient, easier if you just listen. Okay, so what do we give our VIP students? We give you the freedom to choose where you live, the job you do, and your own path in life. We're basically giving you a freedom pass to live wherever you want to live, do whatever you want to do. So what I'm going to do in the next 20 minutes, I'm going to demonstrate that it's the most successful IELTS course in the world, because if you're going to join a course, join the one that has produced the most successful students. I'm going to show you how it works so you know what you're buying, and give you the freedom to choose where you live and the job you do. I'm also going to give you a discount to say thank you, because we want people to join the VIP course who are hard workers and are the right type of students. So by watching this webinar, you've told us that you are prepared to put in the time and energy, and we want to work with you. So we're going to give you a discount. All right, so right now, this is you. I know this isn't you, but like, imagine you, this is you. And this is your current ability. Your goal might be to move to Canada, get a better paying job, move to a better country for your kids, whatever you want to do. But right now, your current ability isn't high enough to get to this. In between you and your goal are things you need to learn how to do. So at a very simple level, we teach you those things, and then you can reach your goal. And we do that by improving your specific areas of weakness. We don't teach you a bunch of new stuff. What we do is we identify the exact problems that you have. Why are you at a 6.5? It's very easy for us to identify that. And then you can fix those problems and get the score that you need and move on with your life and never have to think about this silly test again. I can't do that. I have to think about it all the time. So how do we help you? Number one, we give you access to our VIP step-by-step system. You will go through and learn that system. And by learning the system, you will be able to, number one, identify what problems you have. And number two, just follow that system on test day. And that has been proven to help students improve their score over many, many years. And we're constantly improving it as well. That system has produced more band 7, 8, and 9 success stories than any other IELTS course in the world. You know that because I've just shown you that. Based on what real examiners are looking for. All right. We have 10 at the moment, real IELTS examiners. Whenever we design the course, any changes we make to the course, we always show it to a range of different examiners and be like, is this going to help students? Is this going to improve scores? We only include things that examiners approve. You will understand the exact reasons why you might fail and turn those weaknesses into strengths before you do the test. Everything is done at your pace. There is no timetables. It's not like a normal school. Go to a normal school if you want normal results, all right? If you want abnormal results, very high scores, go for VIP. And this is based on real student success. So what we do every year is we interview our students. And when we're interviewing our students, we're saying like what worked, what didn't work, and we're updating the course constantly. So based on what real examiners are looking for and what real success stories are looking for, not what amateurs who don't know what they're doing are teaching you based on, teaching students that fail over and over again. So why are we so successful? Quite simply, we are successful because our students are successful. We focus everything just on helping you get the scores that you need. That works for you, but it also works for us. Selfishly, the easiest way to sell our courses is just show how successful our students are. And we use all these years of success to teach you only what works. All right. So the more successful students that we have, the more we learn from them, the better the course becomes. So the course is just constantly getting better. And we apply a principled approach to teaching and how we treat our students. We keep the groups very, very small. And we limit the number of students that come in because money is not the most important thing. Your success is the most important thing. So one of our principles is honesty. We will be 100% honest with you, even if you don't like it. Number two, principle is simple. We simplify everything, break it down, show you how simple it can be. And number three is family. When my wife was doing the test, I gave her the VIP course and we treated her exactly the same as the other students. When we are working with our teachers, we say treat each student like you would treat your son, your daughter, your wife, your husband, whatever. It's a very, very simple principle, but that's not what most people do. And that means that we have 10 times more band 7, 8, and 9 success stories than any other IELTS course in the world. If you don't believe me, go and check out our success stories page. More videos, more thank you notes. Just go on and 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 on. So you can check those out if you want, if you still don't believe it. And if you don't believe us after seeing all that, you probably shouldn't join because you have bigger problems than IELTS. So what is IELTS VIP? Access to my step-by-step IELTS system designed to take you by the hand and help you get a band 7, 8, or 9 in your next test. And it's absolutely the fastest and most complete way to get the score that you deserve. So what exactly is it? Everything is digital, covers both academic and general training, covers all 4 skills: writing, reading, listening, speaking, or just the skills that you want. Log in 24/7, all digital. Anywhere in the world, you can log in at any time. Literally step by step, every single part of the test is broken down into step-by-step systems. And we also updated our course recently to VIP 2.0. So VIP was the most successful course in the world, but we wanted to make it better. So we introduced VIP 2.0. So what is VIP 2.0? That's the course you're going to buy today. So students thought that the old VIP course was too expensive. So VIP 1.0, it was $999. And yes, for most students, that was too expensive. Students also thought that there was not enough freedom on how much support that they got from teachers. So because VIP 1.0 was very expensive, we forced students to buy lots of one-on-ones, lots of writing feedback, lots of speaking feedback, and we included that in a big package. And students complained about that because they said that they didn't need that amount of feedback. There was too much of it, and there wasn't enough freedom to choose how much. We now give students the freedom to choose how much teacher interaction they receive. So VIP 2.0 gives you complete freedom on how much one-on-ones, how much feedback, how much speaking feedback that you want. You are in complete control of that, which makes it much, 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 much cheaper. All right. So we've lowered the price by up to 80%. So the course is not $999 anymore. It is much, 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 much cheaper than that. VIP 2.0 gives you everything you need to succeed, and you can purchase teacher feedback as optional extras, giving you complete control and freedom at a much, much, much lower price. So VIP 2.0 is not only cheaper, but it's getting students higher scores at a lower price, much more freedom, much more control, and that's how it works. So, big question that we get is how long will this take? So, unlike other courses, there's no time limits, no timetable, sorry. We focus on helping you get the score that you need, not on time. So, we'd make more money if we just, focused on time, but our focus is not on money, it's on helping you get the score that you need. So, we've designed the course so that people can go as fast or as slow as they want. So if you want to do 24 hours a day, you can do 24 hours a day. If you want to do 1 hour a day, you can do 1 hour a day. If you want to do 1 hour a week, you can do 1 hour a week. It's up to you. You're a VIP. We designed the course around you. So you will have 3 months access. Why 3 months? We worked out that the average student was taking between 4 to 6 weeks to complete the VIP course. So what we did was we doubled the amount of time, and we also worked out that 99% of students completed everything and got everything done in under 3 months. So it is highly unlikely that you will need more than 3 months. If you're one of these people that just worries about everything and, just join, focus on getting the work done, 99% of the time, you'll get everything done in 3 months. So we cover absolutely everything. Task 1, Task 2, speaking, reading, listening, both academic and general. All the courses are broken down into 12 modules. And what we do in the modules is we teach you step by step everything that you need to do. So by module 12, you will have learnt our VIP system. And then we give you feedback on that system. Then you are able to understand, are you using the system correctly or not? And then we will be able to tell you, yes, you're ready to do the test, or no, you need more help. But most of the time, just follow the system, get the score that you need. Simple. We also give you all of these free bonuses. So we don't just give you a bunch of videos. We give you a course, all these course bonuses as well. Sorry, I can't speak anymore. So all of the challenges and skills workshops that we've done over 8 years, we recorded them, put them into a bank, and you can go in and get access to all of them. So what these are is like very specific lessons on very niche specific parts of the IELTS test. You've access to all the past live ones for free. 100 student sample essays, all at about 7, 8, and 9. 24/7 help and support. We're just an email away. If you need any help, just email us. 7 years of recorded lessons. So we do live lessons. We record all of them. You get 7 years of recorded lessons. Band 9 essay bank produced by examiners and examiner speaking tests. You'll not find these anywhere else in the world, where I did speaking tests with real ex-examiners. So you can see what would an examiner say in the speaking test. It's very, very interesting because it's a lot simpler than you think. And the Band 9 essay banks, they're also produced by our examiners. Again, you can see how simple it is to write the essays. We include a full mindset course because most of the challenge with IELTS is not ability, it's mindset. So we help you with time management, for making time to study. We help you with being focused on what to study. We help you with like stress and overcoming exam day nerves, and much, much, much more, because the mental, the psychological part of it is very, very important. So we include that for free. We also include complete listening and reading demo classes. So real examiners, again, we video them, we record them doing all the different types of listening and reading practice questions. So an examiner is taking you through the strategies step by step, exactly what to do for all the different types of reading and listening classes. Again, you'll not find that anywhere else. Complete study guides. So if you need help with what to study, we include that. Unlimited writing practice. So you can practice as much as you want. Full practice tests for speaking, reading, listening, and writing. Grammar and vocabulary courses, and all of that as well. Okay, so there's three options. VIP 2.0 writing, VIP 2.0, and VIP 2.0 plus. VIP 2.0 writing, as its name suggests, it's for people that just need help with writing. It's our cheapest course. So if you are on a budget and you only need help with writing, just join our cheapest course. You don't need to join the more expensive one. VIP 2.0 covers everything, covers writing, speaking, reading, and listening. VIP 2.0 Plus is our most expensive course, but it includes about more than $1,000 worth of extras for just an extra $50. So it is more expensive, but it is our best value course. I'll give you more information about the VIP 2.0 Plus course in a second. So it is the most successful course in the world. If you disagree with that, you have mental problems. I've shown you how it works. I've told you what you get. And if the price is right, you should be 100% sure about joining. So if you join VIP Plus today, we're going to give you more than $1,000 worth of extras for free. So this is not the price of the VIP course. All right. Some of you get confused. These are what we're going to give you for free. So if you join VIP Plus, we're going to give you $1,246 worth for free. So we're going to give you a complete general English course with $500 for free, a complete grammar course with $249 for free, complete pronunciation course, complete critical thinking course, complete vocabulary course, all worth $1,246. If you join VIP Plus today, you get that for free. All right, just a way of saying thank you and to encourage you to join. Last but not least, do you have a guarantee? Yes, we have a guarantee. We have 3 guarantees. So not only is it the most successful course in the world, it is the safest course in the world. So no other IELTS course provides you with 3 guarantees in this level of security. Promise number 1, guarantee number 1. We promise that this is 100% risk-free. If you are not happy with anything, just tell us within the first 30 days and we will give you a full refund. All right. We don't want people who are not happy on the course, so we're happy to give you your money back. Promise number 2, we will be 100% honest with you, and we will be 100% honest with your feedback. And at times you won't like that. All right. So we promise to give you the same advice and support that we would give our family. If you are one of these, especially men from certain parts of the world who are very proud and have very big egos, and you don't like to be criticized and you don't like honesty, then go somewhere else where they will tell you that you're a nice boy and everything is great and you are awesome and you are amazing. We are here to help you improve your scores, which means being 100% honest in feedback. So if you're a child, don't join. It's adults only. Promise number 3, we will be with you 100% until you pass. So you have 3 months access to the course, but even after that, if you need any help, if you need any support, we are there with you. We will help you as much as we can until you get the score that you need. Last thing I think is, do we guarantee success? Do we have a 100% guarantee or 100% success rate? No. We cannot help 100% of you. 100% who join the course will not get the scores that they need. No course in the world can help 100% of students, because there are always a few students who either don't do the work or don't listen to us. If you don't do the work or you don't listen to us, you will not get the score that you need. All right. I'm not very good at most things in the world, but I'm very good at this. And if you listen to me, you will pass. But this is the last time we opened the course. 42.8% people got a band 8, 41.7% got 7.5, 8.3% got a 7, 5.6% got 8.5, 0.6% got a band 6, 0.6% got 6.5, 0.6% got a band 9. These two characters, one, she was just busy, and she was a nurse, I think, with kids, so she just didn't get time to do the work, but that's fine. She can come right back and we'll help her. This other guy, very strange person who thought that he knew more about IELTS than we did. So he failed. All right, so I'm going to give you the special link, but very, very importantly, guys, if you don't do anything, if you don't take action, if you don't join, nothing is going to change. You're not going to improve. If you don't take action, nothing will change. That is not a controversial statement, all right? Even though most of you will not do anything and then be like, why did I fail the IELTS test? We are here to help you, but you must help yourself by joining first. All you have to do is join, and we will do the rest, all right? But you have to take that first step. Special offer is more than $1,000 worth of free courses. We're also, on top of that, going to give you 10% off. There are only 17 places available, guys, and this special offer ends today, all right? And probably before the end of today, because we have only 17 places, because our team is just a small team. We only hire the best people, so we can only handle a small number of students, and we have a lot of people who are always wanting to join. I'll post the special link now. You should have all of your questions answered and you should be ready to join. If I will answer questions now. If I don't get to your question, please email me at chris@ieltsadvantage.com. One of my team, or more likely one of my team, will answer your questions, because I don't have time to answer thousands of questions. But if you have a question now, ask it now. So let me post the special link. So I'm going to post this link. I've just posted the link in the comments. I will also email it to everybody, so don't worry if you don't get it, but it's in the comments. Just click it. Tina and Sophia, can you post it as well? So what do I need to do? So all you need to do is click that link and it will take you here. All right. This is the special page with the special link, VIP2-discount. We'll give you the discount. So this will give you all the information you need. All of your questions are answered on this page as well. You can see all the modules here if you want, if you're interested. You can see all the bonus stuff here. You can see the $1,246 worth of extras. And here are the prices. So VIP 2.0 writing with 10% off is only $129. Very, very, very cheap. Um, for changing your life, helping you move to a new country, that's a pretty cheap price. If you want VIP 2.0 covers everything, only $179. All right, again, extremely cheap. VIP 2.0 Plus with more than $1,000 worth of extras is only $224. All right, again, very cheap. If you think those prices are expensive, try going and failing the test multiple times, and then come back and tell me if you think it's expensive. If you want to compare the 3 different courses, we have a price comparison tool, or sorry, a course comparison tool. My brain is starting to shut down. Sorry. Frequently asked questions. If you have a question, you might get the answer there. And if you want to join, all you have to do is pick your course. So let's say you're ready to join VIP 2.0 Plus. You just click there. We'll take you to this checkout. Put in your email address. Put in your address that is linked to your credit card or your debit card. Put in your country, your state, province, region, zip code, if you have a zip code or a postcode. And then we accept credit cards or debit cards. So if you have a credit card, put in your credit card number and the expiry date, hit complete purchase. That's it. Or if you have a debit card, click complete purchase. That's it. We do also accept Bitcoin if you have Bitcoin, and we also accept PayPal and bank transfers, but it's much, much easier just to use your credit card or debit card. All right, so yes, we take crypto. Yes, we take crypto. Well, yeah, any crypto. Bitcoin, yeah, Bitcoin. Everyone wants to pay with Bitcoin when Bitcoin's up. So it's been up a lot. But when it's down, no one wants to pay with Bitcoin. All right, guys. So if you have any questions, I will pick. I can't answer every question because a lot of the questions are just repeating the same thing. But let me. If you have any questions, guys, ask them. Ask them now. Look, will there be another course in the future, and when? I think you're talking about the VIP course. Look, yes, but we don't know when because we just help the students that join now, and then but it takes varying time frames to help those. So yes, but we don't know when. If you have a date in mind in the future, what you can do is email us and say, I want to join X date, and we'll save a place for you. Please don't ask the same question again and again and again. If you do that, our systems will just throw you out. So please don't do that. It just makes it very, very difficult to answer any questions as it is now. Could you show us your VIP course example? I'm curious about that. No. So, if someone shows you overwhelming evidence that it is the most successful course in the entire world, and they give you a discount, and your response is, give me more free stuff, then you're probably not the type of student that is going to do very well. Because the students that have, I'm not saying you don't have a brain. I'm not saying that, all right? But if I wanted to learn something and someone showed me overwhelming evidence that they can help me and they give me a discount, the only question that I would ask is, where's the button to press to join? you know. And I'm sorry if you think that's arrogant or that's rude or anything like that. It's not. We like to spend our time with people who are ready to learn, you know, not tire. We call in English we call them tire kickers. So tire kickers are just people who just ask a million questions and they're never going to join anyway. You know, I've been doing this for a very long time. People that just ask questions, 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 they never join. You know, the people that just get the link and join get the scores that they need. Is there any sort of age limitations for? There's no upper one, um, but we don't teach anyone under 18. No, we don't. You can do the IELTS test if you are under 18, but I personally just don't agree with children doing the IELTS test. Um, I think it goes against a lot of principles of teaching and principles of education. Um, there are a lot of countries, Vietnam especially. I'm not criticizing Vietnam. My wife is Vietnamese, and I've spent a lot of time in Vietnam. In Vietnam, there's a lot of classes dedicated to teaching children. That is because they figured out that it's a good way of making money. It's not to help the children. Like, is it possible to have a physical attending class in Belfast? No, sorry. I don't teach in person because I'm not very good at teaching in person, especially one on one. I'm very, very good at creating courses, and I'm very, very good at giving feedback and stuff like that. But I'm not good at teaching in person, one on one. So I just play to my strengths. So, um, do you do one on one sessions? Yes, we do. So if you join the VIP course, you can book one on one sessions as well. But it's extra. It's extra price. Uh, oh, I plan to take the test in 2 weeks' time. Can this? No. If 80, like I see your little son there, you're probably doing this test to help your family, and this is why we're extremely honest and we're not saying yes, join, you know, and the normal sales tactics and everything, because 80, you're doing this to help your son, and I'm doing this to help my kids as well. So there's no point in you paying us money right now because you won't get everything done in 2 weeks. So it'll be a waste of your money. And I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name. Um, the best advice I can give you is in 2 weeks, use our free material and try to get as much done in 2 weeks as possible. And then if you go and do the test and you pass, then great. You know, we've helped you for free. But if you go and do the test and you fail, then come back to us, email us, and I'll help you get on the course, and then we can have a more realistic time frame. So, um, good question. I wanted to take your VIP course, but I'm under 18. Um, The only exception to that is if you're like, 17 or something like that, and you're close to being 18 and your parents consent. So your parents email us and your parents say, yes, I want them to join. And your parents know about it. Like, don't go and steal your parents' credit card and, and do that. But yeah, get your parents to email us and we'll see. But we don't teach like like 12, 13, 14-year-old kids. No. And if you're that age, don't study IELTS. If you're a teenager, like pick something you love. Like most teenagers have things that they love, like certain types of music or sports or computer games or whatever. Do that thing that you love in English because the IELTS test is an English test. Do that thing that you are obsessed with in English. Like if you love computer games, go onto forums and read reviews or participate in like live playing in English. If you love music, listen to that and read stuff about it and write stuff about it. Your English, if you do that, will dramatically improve. Whereas if you study boring IELTS stuff, you'll hate it. Because what I wouldn't want to study IELTS if I was a teenager. Can I finish VIP course before fall 2023? I hope so, because you only get 30. You only get 3 months access. So yes, you will. Can the people who want if you write PDF or anything about the PDF, we will immediately remove you and not send you the PDF. So let me make this clear. Imagine I invite you to my home and I give you dinner and wine and everything for free. All right. I'm helping you for free. Would you at the end of that dinner go, where's dessert? Where's dessert? I want chocolates. Where's this? It's like, no, that would be very rude. So please try to behave like a human being. Okay? We're not broadcasting this to the zoo. All right? These are humans we're dealing with. Have some basic manners. All right? I've just taken my time to help you for free, and you're demanding more free stuff. It's very, very, very rude. I'm just looking for a question that makes sense. A lot of them don't. A lot of you are asking, just how can I join? Click the link and join. Okay, a lot of you are asking questions that we've answered multiple times. So maybe what's the replay of this video? Someone's like, stay positive, Chris. I am positive. I just don't. My everyone has something that annoys them. Like one thing that just really. My big annoyance is when I help someone and they don't appreciate it and they want more. It's like that. It's very we call it a trigger. That triggers me. Okay. All right, guys. So I'm getting a lot of questions that I answered multiple times in the presentation, and I've answered multiple times already. Another trigger for me is I don't like answering the same questions again and again and again. Life's too short. So if you want to join, either click the link and join or don't. We will also email you, and you can get the link there. And just click that link. All the information is there. I'm sorry I can't answer all of your questions, but I'm not Superman, and I can't answer all of them. But email us. We have a team of lovely ladies who are far nicer and more patient and more helpful than I am, and they will answer your questions via email. But basically, guys, the people who get the scores that they need, they just see how great the course is and they join. The people that ask 50 questions, they never join anyway. So that's why I'm not that bothered about answering that many questions. But if you do, if there's just one or two questions that if you get the answer to them, that will mean that you join the course. That's totally fine. Email me and I will, or my team will help you out. Thanks very much, guys, for your time. I really, really appreciate it. I know most of you will never give us money and never join the VIP course. That is totally fine. I hope that I was able to help thousands of you for free, and I wish you the best of luck with your IELTS journey. If you get the score that you need, congratulations. If you don't get the score that you need, come back, email us. We'll either give you free stuff or we will give you some advice on which VIP course to join. All right. Again, sorry that I didn't answer a lot of your questions. It's 2 hours and 15. I can't speak. My mind is scrambled eggs now. So, but my team will help you. Email us, chris@ieltsadvantage.com. For the last time, I will post the link where you can join. The special offer is only for today. So if you want that special offer, take it or leave it. Up to you. I'm not going to put any pressure on you. All right. Thanks very much, guys. If you ever need anything in the future, just let us know. If you have enjoyed this lesson, give it a like. We never ask people to subscribe in our videos, but if you want to subscribe, you can. And PDF, the ebook, so we know the people who made it to the end. We have a system that tells us who made it to the end, and we have your email. We're going to email you that PDF ebook. Part of the ebook needs feedback and it needs tweaking, so I'm going to improve the ebook over the next few days, and then I'll email it to you. It takes our system a couple of days to know who made it to the end and who watched it. So we will email it to you. Don't worry. What's the last thing? Oh, the replay of this will be available. A lot of you are asking about the replay. The replay will be available for the next like 24 hours, 48 hours. We always delete our live lessons. So the reason we do that is to give you added motivation. So you can watch the replay if you missed anything, but we will delete it. I can't speak anymore. We will delete it. What day is today? Thursday. We'll probably delete it on Saturday. All right. So thanks very much, guys. Really, really appreciate it. If any of you joined the VIP course, thank you so much as well. Appreciate your time and attention, and good luck. Thank you. Bye-bye.